Before I started carrying a gun, before I started thinking about holsters, belts, or medical, I was just a guy who left the house with his phone, wallet, and keys. That was the whole routine. Phone, wallet, keys, and I'm out the door. And I think somewhere along the way, after all the stuff I'm about to talk about, I kind of forgot how good that felt to just basically carry nothing and not think about it. I got into carrying about 2 years ago and bought whatever the guy behind the counter said was good, which was the Glock 43X, honestly, a great starter. Then you find YouTube, and the thing about me is I'm the kind of person who would genuinely do a concerning amount of research on things that don't even matter. And I'll do this with everything: guns, holsters, PC parts, silverware, leftover containers. Once, I spent about 4 hours comparing two optics that were only $10 apart. And I don't realize how insane that sounds until just now. Like, honestly, after all that research, I'll impulsively buy something completely different at 11 o'clock at night because it just looked cool. But I'll wake up the next morning, immediately regret spending another $400 on something that I don't even need. And then exactly 3 months later, it's listed on TaxSwap. And I'll do this cycle 2 or 3 times before I actually figured out what I wanted. I am shiny object syndrome's worst nightmare. Anyway, the whole EDC thing, it's kind of a slippery slope in a way that you don't really notice while it's happening. First video tells you need a good holster, which makes sense. Second video says a holster is just as good as the belt. Okay, sure. Third one says appendix carry is the only correct way to do it. But then you need a backup light, then a knife, then a tourniquet. At some point, your wife is genuinely pissed off because you have to run back inside and you hit her with the, "Babe, I forgot my pocket knife." And she just looks at you like, "Are you serious right now?" And the thing is, each single piece makes sense on its own. Like individually, each one has a reason. But when you put it all together and actually look at yourself, it just doesn't feel right. And I don't think I fully understood that back then. Over the next few weeks, I just started forgetting pieces. And I don't know if it was my ADHD or the fact that I'm putting on a tourniquet every single morning is genuinely annoying, or just carrying around something in your pocket for 8 hours a day that you never touch. But gradually, stuff just stopped making it out the door with me, and the one thing that I always grabbed first was the gun. Not the knife, not the light, not the extra mag, just the gun. And yeah, something felt off at first, but it was also kind of freeing, honestly, and that pretty much told me everything I needed to know. So now my carry is just 5 things: phones, keys, watch, card wallet, and my Glock 19. No rotation, every single day. And there's one item in the setup where I went the other direction and added gear on purpose, which kind of goes against everything I've been talking about, but we'll get to that. Starting with the phone, iPhone 13 Pro, no case, obviously. I don't ever upgrade my phones, and I hate every new Apple update that comes out. This thing is on life support, and it's gonna stay here until it physically gives out on me. It's got scratches and scuffs all over it at this point, but I honestly think it just patinas really nicely. I like to call it personality. Keys. I only have a few locks in my life that actually need a physical key, so the key ring kind of reflects that. I got this key holder thing that I genuinely love, and I recommend it to anybody. Then I have a Gerbil multi-tool that I never once use for anything other than to open a beer. Apple Watch. I track my fitness with it. Apple AirPods for AirPods. Card wallet. This is honestly just a failsafe at this point because my phone basically replaced my wallet a few years ago. Tap to pay is everywhere now. Every coffee shop, every restaurant, every drive-thru, even the farmer's market, except Walmart. And I generally hate Walmart for not having tap to pay. Like, what do we do in Walmart? And my driver license is in my Apple Wallet too. So really, the card holder there is for the one time my phone dies, which when I think about it, if my phone ever die, I might not survive. Like, everything is on that thing. Now to everybody's favorite part, the gun. And this is the part where I mentioned I actually added stuff too, because everything I've walked through is about carrying less, keeping it light, and not overthinking about it. And then you look at my Glock 19. There's an Osight XR and a Streamlight TLR7 HLX. So let me explain that. Like I said, I started with the 43X, and that was kind of my first love. I put a few thousand rounds through it, but I kept wanting to make it better. And this is where the shiny object syndrome really kicks in hard, because the grip felt too short. So I bought a Magwell that I saw in Gunman's 43X setup, and I thought that was sick. Because, you know, being functional is useless if it doesn't look good first. So I just stopped, bought the 19, put another few thousand rounds through it, and I haven't changed a single thing about it since. More specifically, this is a Gen 5. The Optic is an Osight XR, which is an enclosed mirror. But I will say, the Optic space have gotten a lot more interesting recently. There are better and more innovative options hitting the market right now than there were even a year ago. Osight actually sent me their XR to check out, and I'm not getting paid to say this, and I'm not making a single dollar off them from the video. I just want to be real. I already owned their XR before they even reached out to me, before they even sent anything. This was the only optic I was recommending to anybody. Compared to my EPS carry, there's less parallax, less tint, emitter is noticeably clear, wireless charging, and pop-up backup iron sights. I already had one on my competition gun for a while now, and I beat the crap out of it. But look how it turned out. Still kicking. The main thing that won me over on this optic is the interchangeable MOA dot, and I think you can either choose between a 2 MOA or a 6 MOA dot. When I first saw that, I was thinking like, dude, this, depending on the stage, I can hot swap my MOA dot size, but I just sound like I'm glazing now. But I genuinely have no problem recommending this to anybody. Moving on. The TLR7 HLX, weapon mounted, so the light goes where the gun goes, and I don't ever really go out at random places at night anyways, so I don't need a separate flashlight on me. This is also a great flashlight. I took it out on my friend's yard one time, shined it at a tree maybe 50 yards away, was mind blown of how bright it was. The point is, these modifications, they don't change my morning routine, they don't change my belt, I just pick up the gun and everything's already there. And I think it's worth talking about what's not here. No pocket light, no pocket knife. I used to carry both of those for 6 or 7 months and I never had a single reason to use them. Also, no extra magazines, which means no appendix carry. I tried appendix, really wanted to like it, but I actually hated it. Though, if I wanted an extra magazine, I would just use a Neo Mag, which is a magnet that you can slap your mag to and it just sits in your pocket like a pocket knife. I think that's really smart design. Everything I don't carry on me lives in my car, and on the days where I do want to carry a little bit more, I got this Tom Talk 1.5 liter sling bag that I'll throw a light in there, throw a knife, an extra mag, but most importantly, feminine hygiene products. But those are for me, obviously. And what you wear actually matters a lot too, but not in the way that you think. The point is, the whole idea of concealed carry is that nobody knows, and half of the EDC community dresses like they want you to ask. I don't want anyone to think about me at all. I just look like a guy at the grocery store who probably likes reading the ingredients of a bag of chips to make sure there's no red 40 in them. Oh wait, I actually do that. My wardrobe didn't change when I first started carrying, and it shouldn't have to. If your setup requires a specific outfit to work, then the setup is wrong. The gun, the holster, the position, all of it should disappear under whatever you're already gonna wear. No, that sounds hypocritical because I don't really care if I'm printing. Side note, I've been using the 100 Constantine belt for about 2 years now, and it's got its quirks, but it's still here, and I guess that says a lot. I think the whole EDC space kinda has a problem. Honestly, it sold the idea of prepared as a quantity thing. Like, the more stuff you have, the more prepared you are. And there's an entire industry built around making you feel like you don't have enough. It worked on me, and I feel like it works on you too. But like, bro, I'm just going to Costco for a case of water. My carry isn't about having less for the sake of just having less. It's the fact that I actually carry every single day now. No exceptions, because there's nothing to think about. It's just my phones, keys, watch, card holder, and my gun. All of it in a few seconds, and I honestly think that should just be the whole point.